Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome to Endless Dungeon. This is a new action RPG roguelike with some interesting elements of tower defense mixed in, which seems like an unusual combination, but you'll understand why it works in just a bit. Now, if the name of the game sounds familiar, you might be thinking of games like Endless Legend, or perhaps even Dungeon of the Endless, and that's because it's all made by the same folks, Amplitude Studios, and in this case, published by Sega. Now, I should note that Endless Dungeon is not currently fully released. It is only available for pre-order, and it is planning on releasing on May 18th. However, for those of us who'd got free keys from the devs, thanks for that by the way, or they pre-ordered the game already, there have been some OpenDev sessions where you get kind of a sneak peek of the game, almost like having a bit of early access. I say all of that to make sure you understand that some of the features you might see in this game are subject to change, but I do think that they're getting close to the finalized version of the game. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Welcome to the Saloon. Now, this place functions as the central hub of the game because every good roguelike has to have one. The story of the game is a little bit of a mystery to me. As far as I can tell, we are a bunch of shipwrecked fellows who are trapped on an ancient, unknown space station. And in order to find our way off, we are diving deeper and deeper into the dungeons looking for some sort of way out. The weird thing is, every time we dive down and we die, we get revived here in the saloon by a machine called the Reloader. Why does that all work? Don't know. These are the kinds of mysteries that you'll have to uncover as you play the game. Here in the hub, you can interact with different side characters. You'll also be able to go to shops and spend some resources called scrap in order to upgrade your heroes and some of your weapons. But you're not here to see a lot of hub action. No, you want to see me fight stuff. So, let's go ahead and jump into a new game. Now, you can bring along 2 out of 4 heroes in this current version of the game. We've got Blaze, Comrade, Shroom, and Bunker. Each have some different stats associated, different playstyles, different passive and active abilities. Blaze, for example, is much more of a ranged DPS character. Comrade, a close-range DPS character, which is not half bad. I'll take these guys. It is worth noting that this game is going to have co-op mode, so while I can take these 2 characters with me in solo mode and swap between them, you could also just bring along an actual friend who chooses one of the characters and you play together. That's pretty cool, but anyway, let's go ahead and start up the game. Here goes nothing. Now, every map is randomized, but there are a few consistent factors. 1, this is the crystal bot. You must defend it with your life. If this thing dies, you lose. So don't let that happen, because enemies are going to be gunning for it. Secondly, you are going to be opening up doors and gaining resources. And the way that that works, in the top right, you can see we have science, industry, and food. We gain 2 of each every time we open a door. We can increase that whenever we find a generator spot like this. So for example, now I'm generating 6 industry every time I open a door. And personally, I do find that industry is by a long shot the most important part of the game. But other resources are going to help you. For example, this is a place where I can upgrade characters using food. The more food I have, the stronger my actual character can be, which is not half bad. I do want extra mines. I find that to be pretty good. This right here, by the way, is an enemy spawner. It's going to spawn bots whenever there are waves, and they are weak to electricity. Over here, I'm going to set up some turrets to try and take these things down before they're too much of a danger, but odds are pretty good that they're going to sneak through anyway and cause a lot of havoc. Let's continue exploring, get more resources. Science is something we'll be able to use, obviously, to research new types of turrets, and that's very important to do in the early game. I still want lots of industry, but if we can find a science post, I will absolutely take advantage of that. Enemies will try to destroy your generators if they can, and if they do, you're going to cry, because that's a lot of potential resources that are going to be lost. This is a pretty large room we have to defend over here. Okay. I do see a place where we can generate some additional health packs. Not worried about that. I also do see that exact science station I was talking about. We can do this right now and trigger a wave immediately. Let's go for the Tesla ball. This is going to do electric damage, which is really good against robots. So we're going to run all the way back over here. Enemies are now spawning exactly where I said they were going to. And the turrets are not exactly doing an outstanding job of killing these things, at least not yet. But hopefully as we upgrade these and get bigger, better stuff, we'll find that they are a lot more effective. Whoop, and we have an enemy that's actually run across over here and is trying to take out that generator. Don't let them do it. And there we go. All right, wave complete, easy, and I've now unlocked a new type of turret, which is great. I could go over here and spend only 4 scrap to replace this one, which I'm going to go ahead and do, because it is a cheaper way of getting some better turrets over here, so I don't have to worry about it so much. Now, you might think I'm tempted to actually run through and start opening more doors, but actually, if I can go ahead and finish unlocking even more stuff at the research terminal, that's going to be pretty good for me. Level 2 Tesla balls, you know, I guess we can go ahead and do that. The Tesla ball is one of my favorite types of turrets, so we'll go ahead and do that. Turrets do level up automatically as they defeat enemies, which is obviously pretty helpful. So you can level them up to level 2. You have to run up and actually choose to upgrade them, but if we have it pre-unlocked, then basically I think we just upgrade directly to level 2. We don't have to worry about them killing enemies. They're just good right out of the gate. And robots are kind of my bane in this game, so I'm absolutely okay with that. Ah, boo. Now, see, this is exactly why I didn't want to go opening doors, because now we found another one of these spawners, which is another place that I have to start reinforcing. A couple more Tesla balls should do the job, but they're going to start off as level 2, which means they're really good. Treasure chests can have some nice stuff in them, including a new weapon, in this case, a splatter gun. I guess I'll go ahead and grab it. Kind of like a little shotgun thing here, does acid damage, good against certain types of enemies. Different enemies are weak to different types of attacks. So robots, as you noted, weak to electricity. There's also bugs weak to fire, and there's going to be blobs weak to acid. Having at least one weapon of every type is very helpful if you can get it. Okay, now right here we find something that is called a breaker. This is going to open up all locked doors on the floor. Some of them are red on the map. They're not anymore, but these guys are green, which means I've just unlocked a lot of new stuff to do. This right here is a crystal that we can actually tell our crystal bot to move over here and start drilling it. But whenever your crystal bot is not in a sconce over here, it's going to start spawning more enemies non-stop until it gets into one. So that's going to be a very risky thing to do. Oh, hello. And this guy is a trader. Traders can offer you new things. In this case, he's going to offer me some different upgrades for food. Sometimes he also offers weapons. Let's see. Add 25% movement to the hero when not in combat for 4 seconds. Add knockback if there are no turrets, or extra elemental affinity if using light damage. None of that's great, but I guess I'll take I am speed just because, I don't know, moving around faster could be nice. So we'll go ahead and upgrade this. We can have a trinket. Every hero is able to carry one trinket on their back. We can always swap this out for something a little bit later. I don't care too much about the rest of this, though. Ah, okay. So this room right here requires the crystal bot in order to open it up, which again means that we're going to be spawning enemies non-stop. So I don't necessarily want to do that this second. I do want to unlock some additional types of turrets. With our Tesla towers, we're actually in a very commanding position, like a shockingly good position right now. So pretty much anything that spawns is something we are able to deal with. So I feel very comfortable with spawning enemies right now, as long as I can go ahead and get some of these research bonuses, which will make me stronger when we eventually get to a boss. Ooh, we found an orange chest. That means some really good weapons about to come out. A sniper beam. Let's try that. Oh, wow. Yeah, it takes a little while to reload, but this thing's going to do a freaking ton of damage. Beautimous. Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Now, unfortunately, there's no more doors that we are able to open. So, I'm not going to be able to get more resources and more science done. What I'm going to do now is run over this direction real quick. We're going to tell our crystal bot to move. It's going to spawn non-stop waves, but hopefully our turrets are able to deal with almost all of it. Oh, let's get this thing upgraded. Thank you. There we go. All right. And then once that's done, it's going to start automatically following me. We need to tell it to go to this door over here. Come on, little crystal buddy. So far, everything's looking fine. We're getting that mined. Generator under attack. Don't love that, but you know what? It's all going to be moot very soon anyway, because we're going to lose all these generators once we move on to the next area. So I'm going to go over here, tell this thing to go ahead and start walking this direction, and then we're going to escort him the rest of the way. We should be fine. I do wish I could go ahead and scrap all of these to get some of my industry back, but no, that's not a thing we can do. Now, once we get through this door, you can consider yourself to be effectively starting over. I mean, not exactly, but like we're going to lose our generators, we're going to lose our turrets, and we're going to have to explore a whole new region. This is why you don't want to go crazy and just place down turrets everywhere you can. You want to save some resources and stock up on lots of industry, so you'll be able to react to whatever the next area is going to have in store for you. Yep, see, here's a new little place. The little crystal bot is going to embed himself, and once this is done, the door is going to lock like so. Boom, that area is now blocked, and we get some scrap, so we can spend that at the hub. Now, the reason we got that crystal is you can actually use that to upgrade the bot. So, for example, he moves faster. That's not bad. We can also have extra damage to all turrets in the crystal bot's room. That's not bad. Or we can have a lot of defense on the crystal bot whenever slotted. I'm actually going to go for the attack damage to turrets, because that will be very, very helpful once we get to the second floor boss. Not going to be there for a while, but I am thinking for the future. Hello, bugs. Oh, good. All right, I hope I got some fire turrets. I did. We'll be able to handle this, no problem. And you know what? Before we open a bunch of more doors, let's go ahead and get some science done. I would love the acid sharpshooter. But right now, only one area is going to be spawning, which is why if you have a lot of science stacked up, moving on into fresh new areas could be a very good opportunity to start knocking out a lot of your science in relative safety. That said, I really want to find more generators again so we can start stacking up resources a bit faster. There is one right here. For this, though, we are in a dark room. The only way to actually start placing anything here is to use up a resource I have found randomly called dust. So I'm going to go ahead and light the room up. Boom. Now we have access to everything, including the oh-so-important generator. Worth saving your dust for rooms like that where you gain something really valuable out of it. Ooh, big room with a ship in it. This is going to be another really good weapon, ain't it? Hang on, let's swap over to my guy, the Empathizer Heavy Gun. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'll take it. Okay, in order to advance any further, we have to move the crystal bot into this area. That's fine. What we can do is actually tell it to come over here and start working on that area. We'll get a crystal. Since we have a wave on its way already, I don't see any reason not to also go ahead and do some research. Let's get an upgrade to, I guess, the Acid Stabber. That should be fine. Then we're going to escort this. But again, I think we're doing okay right now. Going for these Tesla 2s has turned out to be a really good choice, because we are doing a lot of damage with those things. Whoa, we got some big enemies over here. Big enemies. Now, one problem I've got is these guys are trying to take out my generators, which I do not like. Really wish you would stop doing that. I need that industry. Holy crud! There's so many enemies, and my bot's following me the wrong direction. No. We need to go this way, if you please. Hold the phone. Don't do that. Get over here. Run to this thing. At this point, I may lose a generator, but I would much rather lose a generator than lose my crystal bot and take a lot of unnecessary damage. Yikes, that was a bit chaotic. I lost a couple of generators out of that arrangement. That was awful. Ouch. But we were spread really far out, and it was really hard to actually, you know, do anything. So, ow. Maybe we can find more, but I kind of doubt it. I feel like that was all we were going to get on this floor. All right, this is the exit to floor 1. And with floor 1 done, we'll be able to move on down to floor 2. We have to escort this guy, and there's not a lot of turrets down. I could place a bunch more, but I'd love to save this industry and carry it down into the next floor. Would make my life a lot easier if I can pull that off. I might take the risk and see if we can just escort him the whole way. I'm gonna leave Comrade over by the door to intercept enemies as they appear. That is something you can do, and there's a strategic element of knowing when to have your partner follow you around and when they should stay put and function kind of like a super strong de facto turret and guard a particular room. That does mean that I'm responsible for guarding this little guy all the way on my own, and there's kind of a few enemies, and I'm not doing a very good job of protecting him, but we'll get him there. We'll get him there eventually. Okay, managed to escort him at least this far. Took a bit of damage in the process. But now if we can just hold into this room, we no longer care about anything else. I just need to hold this area, and we'll move on into the next floor, and everything is going to get lost. Who cares if we lose generators? We're going for checkmate. There we go. Alrighty. First floor down. Took some damage in the end. Could have done that better, but at least we got through it. So, we'll just go ahead and calculate the score, we'll find out how much extra scrap we are going to get, and we'll toss that into my currency bank so I can do upgrades back at the saloon. So where do we go? The labor colony or the procedural factory? How about the factory? That sounds like fun. Whee! You can see there are going to end up being 5 floors, and if you can get all the way down to the bottom, I imagine there's going to be really fun bosses from here on out. I will say there's definitely a boss at the end of floor 2, so I want to have a lot of industry set up for that if possible, and that's why I'm really happy to be going into this with 82 industry right now. That means I'll be able to set down lots and lots and lots of turrets. All right, we found our new enemy, though, the Blobs. So these guys are weak to acid. It is going to be worth having lots of acid weapons in order to deal with them. Okay, another wave coming. I did find a really big room where I know I'm going to have to set my crystal bot up. So at this point, I think we go ahead and just start escorting him. Though, even with only 2 spawners, this could get really dicey pretty quick. So I'm going to preemptively get up front and try to lay down some mines and stuff in order to deal with these guys. Oh, anything that's red like that, kind of colored red and outlined, that's an elite. And they are going to do a lot of extra damage. And they're awful, and we hate them. Okay, we actually got through that mostly unscathed. Amazingly. Didn't expect that at all, but okay. Where else do we want to go? We're getting closer and closer to the boss. I know that. Let's try opening some of these doors that we might have missed. There's got to be a breaker somewhere, because some of these doors are locked. I'm betting we're going to need those to progress in some way. Oh, this is a good example, by the way, of a room where you want to light things up using the dust. There we go, because here's another generator. I was right. There's the breaker. Let's go ahead and get that thing opened. That's going to unlock some doors, and I guarantee we needed to find that to continue advancing this away. Not exactly a good time for a wave to spawn. I wasn't in position. I need to get a Tesla ball down or something to help over here. There's a bunch of robots that are spawning over there, and that's just really unfortunate placement because I'm about to move the crystal bot anyway. Didn't want to have to invest any more industry in this than I had to. But it's all right. We're making 14 per door right now, so I'll be able to place down lots of stuff. Whoa, whoa, get away from my little bot buddy. Holy crud. Okay, we got through that one barely, but I've taken a lot more damage than I should have at this point. Is this the door to advance? It is. So, yep, sure enough, we are about to move the dang bot. Ugh, such unfortunate timing. So many enemies. But we've managed to get these guys stuck in a single corner over here. So, if we're careful, place down enough mines, we can definitely handle this and cover for the bot. I think we're going to be all right. Didn't take any extra damage there, so that's a really good thing. Okay, wave complete. Safe at last. So, where are we now? This is the boss room. Good news is, I stored up 96 industry for this exact eventuality, so we're in a really good spot to deal with the boss. Let's see, I know for a fact that a lot of these blobs are going to be spawning, so it would make sense to place down lots of acid weapons in this area. Plus some acid sharpshooters. I love that they have a very long range. It's going to be very helpful when we do go up against the boss. Do we have anything that would help boost up the entire room? No, I did not get anything that gives me bonuses for being in this room or any upgrades to my turrets. There are some things that amplify or shield or something like that. We didn't get any, though. So sharpshooters and DPS are kind of my only option, which I'm okay with. And that's just about everything I can afford at the moment. Could place down, let's say, I guess a flame turret, and that's kind of it. Alrighty, I think we're ready to summon the boss. So we go over here, we tell our little crystal boy to do his thing. Some waves are incoming, not a big deal. Gonna let the turrets deal with them so I can get them some XP and hopefully they level up. But yeah, we seem to have dug too greedily and too deep. Oh, there's the boss. Shell Diver. Oh, you're gonna be so fun to deal with, aren't you? Alright, so here's the trick with this boss. He's going to be following me around over here, and he's going to charge at me, and the little crystal bot is following me this entire time. Whoa, 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 go this way, go this way. Okay, hang on, hang on, hang on, don't get hit. There we go. We got to keep moving around and protect the crystal bot at all costs. This guy's just going to keep running around and doing damage, though, and you can see he already knocked out a couple of my turrets. We'll be doing lots of repair work. Mostly we just want to keep these guys moving, keep going in big circles. Don't let him get you. All right, we already took him down. Let's go over here. We're going to use our little guy to start drilling the crystals off of his head. We got to do this 4 times, and that's how you're going to beat the boss. After every time we do that, the boss is going to regenerate his armor and then immediately go right back on the offensive, like this. But this is why we have all these turrets in place, so we can burn him down nice and quick. At least such is going to be the idea. Now, the boss gets more dangerous as time goes on. You may notice there's some electricity on the floor. Yeah, that's a hazard that is not really going to go away. Let's go ahead and start drilling him apart, and I'm going to go repair my turrets while we can. But, yeah, this electricity is not going to go away, and we're going to find that the floors are getting increasingly more and more dangerous. Basically, we're playing a giant game where the floor is lava now. Ow, 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 ow. This is terrible. This is exactly why, by the way, the faster you can burn him down, the better, so that we don't have to have too much electricity getting stacked up. Unfortunately, my little buddy over here is being an idiot and getting himself stuck in the electricity. Run over here, get another snipe off. Perfect. We can drill him again. Okay, so far so good. We got a lot of DPS. Do you see why it was so important that we had a whole lot of industry going into this room? It's made a huge difference. Actually, wow, wait a minute. We jumped on him so fast we got him down in 3 hits instead of 4. Oh, wow, okay. The faster you're able to react, I guess, when he's knocked down, the more damage potentially you have. Cool. Last time I took down this boss, I had to do it 4 times. Beautimous. All right, that's the boss done. Let's go ahead and run over here and open up the door, and that's going to complete floor 2. For some reason, you did not die this time. Yeah, pure luck and weird happenstance. A total freak of nature. Absolutely no skill involved whatsoever. So we found a little bit of loot we can use to upgrade some of our characters later. We got 170 extra scrap there. Decent score overall. Yeah, I'd say this actually turned out surprisingly all right. Cool. Now we're going to reload in the saloon, which is effectively the same as dying in this case. And that is as far as we are able to go in this current version of the OpenDev. So let's run down over here real quick and take a look at the workshop. You can see that different characters, there we go, are going to be able to spend some scrap to open up blueprints. Let's say I do this on Comrade, for example. And that opens up the Power of Rhetoric, 15% extra damage to his special turrets, because that's his ability. Instead of placing down mines, he places down a couple of extra portable turrets. Now we just made them stronger, right? Those are the kinds of things we can do. Or more health for Bunker, right? Or maybe we can get more upgrades for my little crystal bot. All pretty cool. And then you can go to weapons, and there's a lot of weapons that you can upgrade. Like a lot of them. So in theory, the more you play, the stronger you are going to get. And as far as the amount of content that's in the game, we can take a look at the overall station map here. So there are 10 different zones that are going to be available in the game, some of which are locked to me at the moment, and in each one you can find some corresponding loot, and you can see how much I've completed in each one of them. The answer is not a whole lot. There's a lot more to go. So, yeah, there's a fair bit of replayability in this game. But, you know, we'll see how things turn out as this game continues to develop. We'll probably end up having a couple more OpenDev sessions before the game gets released. For right now, I consider this to be a pretty good taste of what the game is going to have to offer when it gets released again in May. So if you guys like Endless Dungeon, I'll go ahead and include a Steam store link down below just so you can wishlist it if that's something you're into, or pre-order it. Thank you all very much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell. And I will see you guys next time.